Hey everybody, this is my second video of the day, and the reason I'm doing two of them is because it's been so long since I've done one. But I kind of wanted to do a follow-up on something. I don't know if I even did a video yet on the RX200 by Wismec and Jabo, but I kind of wanted to do a follow-up on it. Most people already have one. It's been out on the market for a while. Surprisingly, it's still holding up for me. It's holding up pretty good considering it didn't cost but like 45 bucks or so. They did have, since I bought it, an update for it for it's an RX200, and they had an update that brought it up to 250. And that's 250 watts that it can go up to, depending on your build, of course, because, you know, if you build like super low or whatever, it's not going to fire the whole thing. But the door and the batteries still work good. You can see the paint is starting to come off a little bit, but I'm not really worried about it. I mean, I've had it for about 6 months now, so it has served its purpose. In 6 months, at 7 to 10 packs a day, I could have bought probably 70 or 80 of these. So this has definitely earned its keep. The bottom, where I set it down on the table with, the paint's starting to wear off. No big deal. I do have some scratches and stuff here and there throughout it, but that's mainly wear and tear. I haven't dropped it or anything in the 6 months that I've had it. But I'm usually really careful with my mods, and I hardly ever drop them. Right now I've got the Wotofo Addy Cubed on it, which is really nice. It's one of my favorite atomizers right now. It's got a 0.2 ohm build on it. I'm using 65 watts because I don't like the taste of burnt juice. I like a good strong hit, but I don't want it to taste burnt, so I usually vape it about that. I'm hitting it at 3.61 volts, but either way, that's not what I'm trying to review or follow up on. Sometimes this pin, the center pin, will compress depending on what tank or atomizer I have on it, because it is spring loaded. But sometimes if I have a tank on there that's got a slightly longer pin, it'll press down, and if I keep that tank on there for a while, the pin will take a while to slowly come back up so that I can use other atomizers, which is kind of an inconvenience. But then again, I mean, wear and tear, right? Another thing is I figured out the one weakness that this thing has, and that is, other than it shutting down every time it thinks that it's overheated when it's not really hot. Sometimes the button does get hot because I do fire it kind of, the builds that I use are kind of like some of the lowest ohm builds that you can put on this. If I go much lower, it won't even fire. But I do have some, not a whole lot because I've had worse, but I do have some misfires where I'll hit the button and nothing will happen. And I kind of noticed that, you know, when that happens, I kind of got to hit the button on the side or whatever. But like I said, I've had it 6 months, and I would have gone through like 70 of them had I been buying cigarettes. So if they say you can't save money by vaping, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Then again, I tend to like to collect things, so I try to get as many tanks and atomizers and such and mods as I can. It does help with reviews to have things to review. Real quick on this, the SEB that I did a review on, or a first look on, not long ago. Real quick, I wanted to mention something about this. I've noticed that, like, especially if you're like trying to fill a tank, you press the button down, the juice drips out, squirts out, and then when the juice is done squirting out and you let go, you can't immediately press it again because you got to give it a second to rebuild the pressure so that it can squirt again. Just in my book, it's a con. Because it takes a minute to fill the tanks with this thing, especially the bigger tanks. But anyways, that's it. That's it. Would I recommend the RX200? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I might buy another one. It's held out for me, so that's good. Alrighty. That's all I have.